Hi there, TaffyRue here, and welcome to another exciting episode of Features by TaffyRue, where we get to put the spotlight on young, upcoming artists and creatives who are bubbling under. So I have admired this gentleman's work from afar, and I'm hoping that one day I get to work with him sooner rather than later. He is one of the most sought out after producers, actually, I think so, because his work really speaks for itself. And he has worked with giants in the music industry, and he has gotten the opportunity to travel with the work that he does. I'm super excited to be talking to ManuChie today. Welcome, Mr. ManuChie.
Thank you, Taffy. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. And how are you?
Good. So it's a pleasure to be here.
Awesome. I'm so glad that you finally got to come here.
Yeah.
So I met you, I think, for the first time when I was working with Simba Moyo, and
Oh, yeah.
yes, and I got to come through to the studio for a little bit, but it was
Yeah.
just to record vocals.
Yes,
right?
I remember.
Yeah, so that was my first experience coming and meeting you, actually.
Yeah. Was that COVID time?
I'm not
After.
sure. Maybe just after. Maybe it was just
post,
after COVID
yeah.
time. Yeah. So yeah, I'm glad that today you've come to my
Yes.
office. Hopefully next time I'll be coming to your office and getting to
Yeah.
do some work, because
Definitely.
yeah, you've done some amazing tracks.
Thank you.
So for those people who don't know who you are, I don't know, maybe they're living under a rock. Maybe you can start by
Yeah.
telling us who you are and what you do.
All right. So starting with my name is Emmanuel Chiwanga.
Okay.
But a lot of people know me as ManuChie.
Where did ManuChie come from? I joined to say ManuChie.
So if you listen, so Emmanuel, so everyone that has the name Emmanuel in Zimbabwe oftenly called Manu.
Manu. Yeah.
And I really don't like it. So I then just changed it just a little bit. Like, as an artist, what can you do to make your name interesting, your stage name?
Yeah.
Then I just thought of putting that Manu and half of my surname in there, so ManuChie. But I've done that, but surprisingly, a lot of people just call me Mr. Chi. So
Okay.
I'm thinking of just rebranding to Mr.
To
Chi.
Mr. Chi, okay.
We'll see. We'll see how that goes. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And what do you do?
So I'm a music producer, arranger, music director, and an artist as well. Yeah, that's my line of work.
Okay. How did you
Yes.
get into music production?
Yeah. All right. So, funny, I started producing or learning to produce in COVID.
Okay.
And there's a guy called Daniel Chueda. He was really part of my journey in production. He would come to my house, show me, oh, this is what you can do, this is what you can do when you want to do this. And, it didn't take me time. Maybe in less than a year, I was already capturing stuff, but it made it, the process was made easier because I already play. So, most of the things are in my head, and it was just a matter of just putting that down. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. So probably like the year in COVID, that's when you probably got to hone in on your skills and
yeah,
producing.
COVID time, we really had so much time. So every day I'll just wake up, put in the work, and I never thought I'd be a producer, because that's something I never thought about.
So what did you want to be when you were growing up?
Okay, I knew that I wanted to be a musician and artist, but never thought I would start to produce for other people.
Okay.
So it's actually interesting that you can actually wake up and decide to do something and you can actually do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Okay, so you mentioned that you started playing. Obviously, what instruments do you play?
Yeah, so I started playing piano, keyboards, church, um, in Chitungwiza.
Okay.
So that's when I got someone to teach me when I was, I think 2010, to be honest.
Really?
That's
Okay.
when I started like learning to play. And then um, uh, what happened is that at my church, there was a guy who was playing, and he got a big opportunity to leave the country, and he left, and there was no one.
Okay.
But I used to stay by the church. I was just, someone who attends choir.
Yeah.
I never thought I would play. So the instruments were always like around me. Then I was like, let me just try, this keyboard. It was a E09, I still remember. And I started just playing, and the guy that taught me, who was now coming to the church, he was like maybe 6 years younger than me. So it was just like, oh, this is how you play. I was a little boy, so it was just like very funny how that happened. And I started playing in church in like six months in, and
That's
I would
amazing.
play off key. Sometimes someone is singing, I'm playing in a different key.
Yeah.
But until I got it, so in less than a year, I was playing in church perfectly fine.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. I think it must have taken a lot of humility, though, to learn from someone who was younger than you, right?
That was that was really hard, but
Yeah.
But yeah, it really helped me out.
And it paid
Yeah,
off.
It did.
Yeah, I think you need to buy that person a drink.
I will.
Whoever taught you.
I will.
Yeah, because look at you now. Like, I mean, you're now using those skills that you
Yeah.
learned while you were playing guitar,
Yeah.
keyboard in church.
Yeah.
Then you are using those skills as well in production, as well.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Okay.
Yeah.
So, how has your journey been as a music producer? Or before I ask that question, right? So you mentioned that you wanted to be a musician.
Yeah.
What kind of musician did you want to be? Yes, where did you see yourself as a musician?
So I think when I started playing, I would just see myself on bigger stages. I think that's where I was just like hoping, like one day I'll play for this group. One day I'll play on a stage like this. And until it started happening that, now I've played at this stage, and, I'm seeing the goodness of God, and, so it just didn't end there. I just started thinking, oh, okay, what more can I do to improve myself? So when I was in church, I used to sing, but I never seen myself as an artist.
Okay.
I just thought, playing was just everything that I was just going to do. But, when you're growing, you just started to discover new things about yourself. And I guess that's, been part of my journey in my music career.
Interesting. How did you get to work with Unveiled?
Unveiled. Okay.
Yes, there's that song, Look What the Lord Has Done. What is it called?
Oh, Mourning to Dancing.
Mourning to Dancing, yes.
Okay, so, funny story about that song. I dreamt of that song. So I woke up. I still have a voice recording of it.
Really?
When I woke up. It's funny if I listen back to it. And then I started recording. It took me so much time to get that song, to sound as how I heard it in the dream. So, but when I finally finished, I then called Josh before I released it. And then I was like, Josh, there's a song I'm hearing Unveiled on it.
Yeah.
And, I don't know what happened. I guess he was just busy, and I was also busy. And then I released it. I was like, let me just shoot a video and release it. I released it, and then, I did whatever I did, and then George just came to me and like, let's, do a rendition of the song. I was like, that's cool. Let's do it. This song was supposed to be done by you anyway.
Yeah.
And we got into studio, and the song just sounded much more fresher, and and we released it, and that song has changed my life. Yeah, the impact that song has until today is I don't even know how to explain.
Yeah.
And until today, there's still more that's coming from that song.
Really?
Big opportunities, big doors, just from that one
From
song.
that
And I'm
one
grateful
song.
to God for that. Yeah.
That's amazing. That's amazing. That's when I actually started to really get to know Unveiled, and even you as well, in terms of when I heard that song. It's a really beautiful song.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm really grateful to God for, such, dreaming of songs. Oftenly when you wake up, if you have a dream, the moment you're waking up, the dream is going.
Yes.
And I don't even understand how that happens. But most of the time, I just remember the feeling that I have in the dream. There's a time when I had a dream, and I was at a big stage, and it seems as though there was Kanye West there, and I was playing, and there was a crowd singing along to that, and I had the song in my dream. And the moment I'm waking up, it's disappearing.
Yes.
Disappearing. Not even remembering a word. And all I just remembered was the feeling that I had. So it's really special when you wake up and you've got a song, and you actually put it, out, and
That's amazing. I hope one day I can also do songs, eh?
Yeah.
Because writing isn't that easy, especially for me, because I don't get the opportunity to write often. So, if it would come in a dream, I'd really...
Yeah, because half of the time we're just trying to make it sound technically great, but, if it's something that just came to you, that's amazing. Yeah.
So obviously, you've had the opportunity to go on big stages in terms of with your music, right? Obviously, we'll get to the part of working with big artists, right? But how has it been then playing for, Zimpraise and all of these things? How has that journey been? Like, how did that unfold?
So I think when I started production, I never thought I would, join any group, because, just being in studio is just a lot of work. And I really don't like rehearsals. But, when the call came to me to be part of amazing Zimpraise, it was to direct, to, make new music. And, I was like, I would like the opportunity to also work on something new, something, my own interpretation of, how I hear things. And it's also amazing that Mr. Mazir was open to, changing the sound, and, and that's how I got into, like, but if it wasn't for that, I don't think I would just join any group to just play.
How do you balance, though? Because like you mentioned, being in studio is a lot of work, right? And then being part of a group like that, and I know that there's a lot of traveling as well involved with that. How do you balance?
Yeah, to be honest, sometimes, I don't even know how I do it, but it is a lot of work. And balancing the two, it just takes a lot of time. So, sometimes I miss on important work, trying to cover that. Sometimes you're late on things, but, that's just how we... It's just how things are. So you just have to just push through and make sure you've ticked on your tasks.
I think as long as you get it done, you know, that's the important thing.
Yeah, that's true.
So I've seen that the platforms that you have mostly been on, right, are like Christian platforms. Was that intentional or did that happen by accident?
Um, I would say, you know, like getting into production, I started working with more secular artists than I was working with gospel artists. But I don't even know where the shift came from because I think when I started singing, I was just like, I know I would prefer to sing gospel, but
Okay.
I have love songs that I was also putting out just
Yeah.
before that,
Okay.
but I deleted them off YouTube
Okay.
and yeah. But if you really dig deep, you
Might
find
find
someone.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I just slowly started posting most of my work in gospel, and slowly I was just getting more gospel clients and more opportunities in the gospel circles.
Okay.
And yeah, I didn't even, you know, so people, when they would approach me, they were like, but you just do gospel vibes. So how would that? I'm like,
Yeah.
no, I'm the one who did that and that. And they're like, oh, wow. You
Okay.
know, so I guess maybe it was just a way of God putting me in the right position and you know, to serve my purpose and calling. Yeah.
And I know that you've worked with a lot of big names, right? Maybe you can tell us a few of the people you've worked with.
Okay, a few.
Yes.
Who have I worked with? Well, in Zimbabwe,
Uh-huh.
of course, Zimpraise, Unveiled. Worked with Gemma. Um, most and funny with Gemma, most of the songs we've done are really like gospel-ish, you know,
Yeah.
which is great. I've worked with outside of and Zim as Anatolia as
Yeah.
well. I've recently worked with Peruzzi. Peruzzi is a big Nigerian
Oh,
artist.
really?
Yeah,
Okay.
which is incredible. I'm really excited about that. It's on Gemma's new project. The song is called Holy. Yeah, I think there's a lot, but
Yeah.
yeah, I think I just named those ones.
Yeah. So, like, I know you've also worked with a lot of unknowns, right, or upcoming artists. What's the difference? I think I asked another producer this. What's the difference between working with people who are well established and people who are still upcoming?
Um, I guess the difference is in, you know, when you're upcoming, there's just a lot to learn. And, you know, working with someone who's already established there, you actually don't know their full story, where they started from. And I feel like it's just a journey, but you might work with an upcoming that's really good and you're like, wow, this person should be amazing. But I guess a part of, you know, a journey is going through certain things, certain seasons for you to be on top or to be then a prominent artist. So, you know, I just feel like, you know, it's just a journey that people just go through, and when it's your time, you know, you'll be just there.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, there's no difference really. So some prominent artists that, you know, like, hey, and then you've got this new artists that are really amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So equally, I think they
Yeah.
have something to bring to the table, both
Definitely.
people who are well known and people who are still trying to make a name for themselves.
That is true. Yeah.
Okay. And then in terms of, you mentioned you also work with secular artists versus gospel artists. What can gospel artists learn from secular artists in terms of maybe work ethic, or what can we learn as gospel artists?
Yeah, I feel like as gospel artists, musicians, we are very lazy. To be quite honest, I know, it's well, not everyone, but
Yeah.
I mean, like, if we start to compare our industry, and you know, I guess there's just a lot of things that, you know, are involved in making sure that, you know, we are also, you know, there as how those guys are also doing it.
Yeah.
But, you know, I've had a chat with some artists, in South Africa, and these guys, if they're rehearsing like a 9 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking here you can't really do that because
Yeah.
you've got work and but I feel like if our industry was that way, we really put in the time. And so when I say we're lazy, I'm just looking at how people let's start just from content, the type of content that we put out, and compared to other Christian musicians out there, you can just see that we've got a lot of young people, but they're not really showing up.
We're not putting in the work.
We're not putting in the work. So
Yeah.
I don't know if the term that I use is good, but I'm speaking for myself. I feel like I could do more, with my phone. I could just, whenever I'm working, so that we also just get noticed out there. Yeah.
Definitely. I think I kind of, agree with what you're saying in terms of, I wouldn't then say lazy as such, maybe distracted or, lack of focus. I think there's no focus in terms of gospel artists trying to put themselves out there, creating the content like you're saying.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's a lot of work.
It is.
And obviously, we can't do 9 to 5 because we've got other hustles that we need to do to pay for the music.
Yeah.
But I guess there's still, areas that we can do a bit more to push the work.
Yeah, but you see, maybe to justify the term it's just the little things that we need to do, because we really have amazing artists upcoming.
Yeah.
But because of social media now, people just get noticed anytime. The people who put in the work and they do get noticed here in Zim, that actually have big connections just through social media. So I feel like if we start that culture, just being intentional, because I'm sure if that's your calling and that's what you love, you really make time. Yeah.
You make time for what you love, right?
That is true.
Things that you want to really pursue. Yeah. Okay. So you mentioned 9 to 5 people in South Africa, right? Working 9 to 5 on music. Do you think that we have an industry enough in Zimbabwe to live off music strictly?
Yeah, you see, I guess, the industry, I guess we don't have, because of how, music is taken here as well. You find out that people here in Zim, people are doing live recordings, who are shooting all those expensive videos. Some, they don't even get the money back that they've put in. So I guess, it's just when someone has, and then like, okay, for me to just pursue what I love, let me just invest this. And, I guess for those who have consistency, I guess they see the results. But for those who are trying, sometimes you just try once and it doesn't pay off. So the industry really doesn't make sense for now, and I wish that a lot of things change, so that musicians actually can live off just through music, waking up, getting in studio and recording, putting out music, getting their money back, and
having that time to rehearse and to do all that other stuff. Because when I'm looking at myself and I'm like, I need to rehearse, but I look at my day and I'm like, where can I get the time to actually do this? And then including the time, what you're talking about, creating content and all of that. It's no longer just the music. It's also now the other stuff that comes
that
with
is true.
the music, which is the content creation and all of those things that then divides your, attention between a lot of things, just trying to survive, then creating the content, then just doing the music. It would help if the industry would grow.
Because all of those things are connected.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because, when you make a song, that's just maybe 20 or even 10% of the work that you're about to get into. Creating the content is important because that's how you
market the stuff. Yeah.
So even on Instagram, when you scroll down, you just see people saying, those motivational speakers saying, you're being lazy with your music, you should be doing this, try this, But also sometimes it requires money. So, if the industry was really great, I'm sure people would be doing that. But, these are just some of the excuses that we have.
That's excuses. I thought we were now getting on the same page, that we are not lazy. It's just that we've got, life that's lifing. But like I say, I mean, if you do love it and you know that it is your calling, you will make the time for it.
Yeah, you make a plan.
All right. Okay. So what lessons have you learned from doing music that you can apply to just life in general?
Listen, I'm still learning. Because when I look at myself, I don't, put myself anywhere. I just, because you're looking at other people that are doing it, and you just, put yourself in that boat where you're supposed to, get somewhere, put in the work. So, I think I don't have much to say on that because I feel like, there's still a lot to be done. And for me to even be here and be talking, I feel like, it's not even time yet because there's just a lot of work to be put in so that one day, when someone listens, they'll be like, it makes sense that you went on a platform to speak about, music. So we're still on the journey.
But that's a lesson in and of itself because I mean, being wise enough to know that you always have something to learn, there's always more to learn, that is a very deep lesson because I think it's for most people, I think there's a point that we reach that we become stagnant in terms of learning, and then we stop growing.
That is true.
And then we die because
I pray I never get to that. Because sometimes you can never tell when you're not even improving. So I feel like you just always have that learning spirit so that we always grow. So we're still there.
Okay. So what do you want to achieve with your music? Or maybe let me put it this way. If you knew you couldn't fail, right? What would you do? Just as something that I was just talking to with a friend, it would be great to, change the sound to make sure that our industry is also, up there so that we also get recognized. Even our language get recognized, our work. And, just having someone who come out of Zim having a Grammy as an artist, I think that's where we are trying to go. Okay.
And given the resources and, the money, one day we'll get there.
One day we'll get there.
That is the goal.
Yeah, definitely. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So now we've come to that time in the podcast where we switch roles and then you get to ask me a couple of questions. I don't know if you have any questions for me, ManuChie, because I know this is one of the few conversations that we've actually had. So I don't know if you have any questions for me.
Well, I would just ask one question. So now I'm the one interviewing.
Yes, you're the one interviewing.
So how did you get to start Features by Rue?
Wow, I think you're the third person or the fourth person asking me how I got to start Features by TaffyRue.
Yeah.
So, I guess, so we do Bring It On. Mass and I do Bring It On, which is a talent show where young people come and they sing, they dance, they rap and all that.
Amazing.
And so Mass and I have been part of, creating that platform, I guess, for young people to come and just explore the gifts that God has given them and using them for the glory of God. So, and then for me, I am a musician trying to kind of like lead by example, or maybe be an example that these kids that we get to, spend time with can look up to. So I am a musician learning so that I can also then impart that knowledge on them. And so doing, content creation is one of those things. So I'm trying to, encourage, those people coming after me that, create some content, in their different ways. Then Features by TaffyRue particularly, we started that because we're like, we want a place where we can, another platform that we can give to the young people who are coming up to talk about themselves, to share their stories. Because, marketing gurus say that people buy from people they like, and, people they like are people who they can attach themselves to a story and they can relate to that person. So then we created Features by TaffyRue to have that platform where they can talk about their lives and their stories, and hopefully the people who watch will be able to connect with them at a deeper level. And the reason also that we did it is because, I've been blessed to have access to the equipment and everything that is needed for that to happen. And for me, just sharing that with them. Yes. And anyone else in the industry, basically, that I know that has a lot to share as well. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. There's actually so much space for that, and we need more of this.
I think there are a lot of stories. One thing I've learned from doing the podcast is that there are a lot of people have learned a lot. It doesn't matter how young they are. There's some really powerful lessons I've learned from, just having this podcast. A lot of the times, we're like looking at the big people and you're like, we want to learn from all these successful people. But there are also a lot of lessons from, our peers, basically. And that's one thing that I've learned from doing the podcast as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So last question.
Yeah.
How does this and your music balance? Do you see yourself doing more of this, or your music as well?
God knows.
Yeah.
That's the honest answer.
Yeah.
I don't know how it will work out, but at some point, because I guess because of the way my calendar is arranged at the moment, there's a period in my year where I have a bit more time in my hands. So probably I'll do more music then. But the issue is also, it's about doing what I have with what I can with what's in my hands, with what I have. So you find, like with the music, it's got a lot of cash outflow.
Yeah, that is true.
Monodura, producer, that's the truth.
Wow.
If you want a really good, a product, right, you need, to pay for it. So, so obviously with Features, there's no immediate cash outflow, so I can do that while I'm raising the money for me to do the next project in terms of musically. So I guess that also kind of helps with the balance. I don't know. But maybe one day there'll be someone who wants to sponsor.
It surely works out.
And I'll be able to do both. So yeah.
That's all good. That's all the questions I have.
All right.
I could think of,
Awesome. Okay, so we've come to the end of the podcast.
Thank you.
But I don't know if you have any words of advice that you might want to give people who want to become music producers or even just artists in general. You could look into the camera and give them 1 or 2 words of advice.
I think you can be whoever you want to be. I never thought I'd become a producer, but now it's my profession. And next year I'm venturing into something new. The production will be still there, and all because I've seen that when you start something and you put in the work, it really works. So if you want to become better, just keep learning. YouTube is my biggest teacher. I just go on YouTube and learn, and you can do it. Yeah.
Nice, powerful. You have heard it yourself. Keep learning. You can become anything you want to be. And with that, thank you so much for joining us for this episode of Features by TaffyRue. Until next time, take care.